Hello, everybody. Eva Medilek here. I'm so happy to be joining you this morning. Hope everybody woke up feeling well, feeling great, feeling energetic to start the day, and that you're all feeling really healthy, and that everybody in your family is well. One thing that I make sure that I do every morning when I wake up is share some gratitude for that and for that of my family. So, um, I'm I love reading books and I love listening to books. And the reason why I love listening to books is I love hearing the author or the reader share stories that support, their chapters or their hypotheses or what they're going through. And I always look for book recommendations. And so I was on Instagram a few days ago and I follow Dave Asprey. Don't agree with everything that he says, some of his views and stuff, but for health, I've been a fan of the bulletproof diet for a while and some of the concepts around it. And so he was it looks like he's promoting other people's projects. It seems to be on a big joint venture movement, with a lot of joint ventures, whether it's books or products or avocado oil or whatever. My point is, he recommended this author. Um, let's see if I have his name here, but there's this author about in his book. It's called the 48 Master. What is it called? Hang on. The Daily Laws of Leadership. So these are 48 daily laws to master leadership. And so I love to read for um, personal development. I love to read for educational purpose, and I love to read for entertainment. Those are my three reading buckets. And depending upon what my soul needs at any given time, I'm nourishing one of those buckets. In my morning routine, it's either personal development or education. Mostly education in the morning, personal development in the afternoon or evening, and then at night before bed. Sometimes I just need to read People magazine. I admit it. So I'm listening to Robert Greene's Daily Laws, and it's the daily laws of power. And I'm like, oh, that's interesting. That would just be interesting. It was recommended. I really would love to hear what it's about. And so it started out, I'm like, oh, this is good. I'm writing some notes down about it. Let me just bring it up here a little bit. Some of my notes, depending on others is misery. Depending on yourself is power. Okay, I can get behind that. Time is the essential ingredient of mastery. Okay, I can get behind that. People who cling to their delusions find it difficult, if not impossible, to learn anything. Great, got that. And then I start getting into more of the chapters, and he does them daily. And each daily one is about 2 minutes, right? And I'm looking at, I got to April, and one was like, never outshine the master. Interesting. Make the master feel glorious and superior. What's the other one that I was reading today? Appeal to people's self-interest. Use your enemies. It's better to be attacked than ignored. Create a cult-like following. Do not commit to anyone. And I'm thinking, oh, here's one. Be merciless with your enemies. So some of the quotes that are coming from those chapters that I was reading this morning are court attention at all costs. Listen to that, all costs. It's better to be slandered and attacked than ignored. And what was the other one? You destroy an enemy when you make a friend of him. So I'm listening to all this, and all of a sudden I have this revelation. It's like, oh my God, this feels like the handbook of a white patriarchal society. This feels like the laws of supremacy. It feels like the laws of privilege. It feels like the laws of the people and politicians in power right now. And I'm like, oh my God, I got my hands on their handbook. How to keep people submissive. I mean, the language in this book, destroy your enemies. It's so manipulative. It's so mean. It's not creating win-wins. Everything's lose-lose. When I was in leadership, training for leadership about 5 years ago, we played this game called the red black game, and we had 2 teams. And the mission of the game, to split the room, maybe 20 to 30 people on each team. The mission of the game was to it's like kind of guess what your enemy, what the other team, I should say, would pick. And if you picked a combination of red and black, if you both got it, you both got if you both picked black, you both got a certain number of points. But if you were the red team and you picked red and they picked black, the black team picked black, um, you would get either 0 points, and it was a point system. And I share that with you is because everybody was trying to do the math, figuring out, how do we win? How do we anticipate what they're going to do? And then there's always that one lone voice like, what if we just create it so that we both get this equal number of points? Why does it have to be a win-lose? What if we can create a win-win? And sometimes it took an hour for us to come to that conclusion, for groups to come to that conclusion. I've done it as a participant and I've done it as a coach. And it's really right. I don't know who this is. It says Facebook user, but it sounds like Tucker Carlson. But it actually gives you an insight, this book, I listen to books, into the minds and their strategies. And I was thinking Donald Trump the whole time, like, oh my God. And that's why the people are playing to his power. Create a cult-like following. That one was just, oh my God, the January 6 people, the conspiracy theorists. It's a cult. It's like a cult-like following. And I want to stop reading the book. Honestly, it turns my stomach. However, how valuable will it be to know what these people are thinking, to know their thought process, and maybe know how to speak a language that might penetrate and get through to them, because obviously logic does not. Fairness does not. Common sense does not. So I'm going to tough it out. And if you're not on my mailing list, get on my mailing list, go to my website, download, a free gift or something and get on my mailing list, because every month I share highlights from books that I read. And most of them are really glowing reputations. But this time, this is a challenge for me to stick with, finish reading a book that is making my skin crawl, because I look like I've snuck into a KKK meeting, or, a Margie Taylor Greene and Donald Trump having coffee, and then what they're talking about, like, ah! And I wanted to share that with this group this morning because I think it's valuable. It's valuable information. And so look up the book. It's called the Laws of what is it called? Hang on. The Daily Laws of Power. Anyway, the other thing I wanted to talk to you about today, just a little bit, is just the events of the past week or so since I came to you last, with what's happening in Buffalo. And just to implore you, if you will, to know that your Black friends, your Black families, some of you I know are suffering, but people of color, are suffering on a different level. This is extremely traumatizing and hurtful, and it breaks my heart every time I look at the photos of the lives that were lost, the people who were lost in that massacre. And I'm hearing a lot of people sharing posts, especially white people, When someone says, we can end racism when we stop seeing color, don't see color, race is a construct. It's true that the concept of race is a social construct. What I want to share with you, though, is when you don't see color, look at the reasons why you don't see color. What is it about my color makes you think that would be better for you not to see it? Is it not beautiful? Is it not diverse? Is it not different? Is it not special? When you look at flowers, you admire the beautiful colors. When you go clothing, look at my earrings. I saw these colors and I'm like, oh my God, orange. I'm wearing orange pants even. Look, gotta have earrings to match my pants. I see color. I love color. I enjoy color. But why is it that when it comes to our skin color, we have this notion, if we don't see it, racism's going to be over? And here's what I want to say to that. See me, see my color, see your friends, see their color, see people, see their color, celebrate their color, celebrate diversity, celebrate differences, celebrate color. The problem is when we have these assumptions based on color. When we assume that maybe someone's not good enough, smart enough, based on color, when we hear accents, dialects, north, south, east, west, and we make certain assumptions of the character of that person, the intelligence of that person, that's where the demon of racism arises. See color, people. Celebrate color. Color is a beautiful thing. The variety of the colors of our skins is a beautiful thing. For you to say that ending racism would be as simple as not seeing color is perpetrating racism, because it's not that simple. It's the judgment, it's the assumptions, it's the discrimination based on color. That's what we've got to end. So I've chatted enough today. Thank you for listening. I appreciate you all, and I will see you next week. Bye.